Adrian Simon Gill is one of the top prospects in La Masia, the Barcelona Academy, but he's also a top US men's national team prospect. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV, and welcome to another exclusive interview. Many people have been asking about Adrian Simon Gill, right? He's in the Barcelona Academy, interesting prospect. We don't know much about him. Today, we're about to hear it from him himself. You're going to learn about his history, how he got to Barcelona, US men's national team, the possibility of playing for Spain or not. He'll address that in this video as well, so I hope you guys enjoy. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button before we start. That's how you tell us that you enjoy this type of content. We can continue to do so. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Tactical Manager TV. Follow us on Twitter, Manager Tactical. And make sure to follow Adrian on Instagram as well. All right, so let's play the intro and let's bring in Adrian Simon Gill. All right, everyone, today we have another special guest here in the channel, Adrian Simon Gill, currently playing in La Masia, the Barcelona Academy in Spain, American. Adrian, how you doing there? Beautiful day, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty nice out here. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good as well. So we're going to go right to it. I think a lot of the things that came up, when you get a player from your country playing for such a prestigious academy, many of the soccer fans want to know more about this player, but it's hard to get information at the youth level, right? So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is essentially, how did you start playing soccer? Where did you start playing soccer? And then we can dive into when did you go to Spain? Why did you choose Spain?
Yeah, so I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I think I started playing soccer when, as early as I could, three years old. I was kicking the ball around, and when I was 5, I started playing in the rec leagues. I played with the team when my dad was the coach with a bunch of my friends. And then I moved to Storm, which is a local academy in Colorado, and I played there until I went to Barcelona, actually, 7 years. And then it's a pretty good local team here, but I didn't make the first team. I made the second team for the U12. I think it was the U12B team.
Of Barcelona?
No, not of Barcelona. It's a different local team here, yeah.
Okay.
And so I made the B team here, and I'd been used to being one of the better players in Denver, and I moved to Barcelona, and I was just like any other player pretty much. So I had to get used to that. But yeah, I played on that team for around 6 months, and halfway through the year, they started calling me out with the older age group second team, and then my age group first team, and then also the older age group first team as well. So within the first year, I was playing with 4 different age groups, really just getting the Barcelona style, I guess. That's pretty much my story until we worked up to Barca. And then the next year with that team, same team, I moved to the first team, and then after that I went to Barca.
What age did you arrive in Barcelona, La Masia?
It was 2016. I was 11. At La Masia, it was 2018, and I was 13.
Okay, so you've been there for a while already, hitting year 4.
Yeah, this is my 4th year in Barca so far.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. One question I wanted to ask you there, and this is also for the viewers. What position do you play specifically in role at La Masia nowadays? I know you play in the central midfield. Mm-hmm. Is it more like a playmaking central midfield, or what's your style of play in terms of that in role?
Yeah, Barca, we play with a 6-8-10, where the 8 and the 10 are pretty similar, but depending on the player, they can be played differently. So the 8 is usually on the right side, the 10 is usually on the left side, so that's how it works. And I usually play on the left side, so I wear the 10. And my job is more attacking. I kind of stay up in the intermediary spaces, and I attack the back line, playmaker, you could say.
Got it. By that, just to explain it to the viewers visually, it's a 4-3-3 where there's a 6, an 8, and essentially a 10 next to it. So it's pretty much an 8 with a more advanced role.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's but what I would say I also defend a pretty good amount, more than not like a playmaker who stays up. I play it like an 8, I would say, but attacking, I stay more up.
Now, one question is, obviously you were very young when you moved to Spain. You said 7, right? When you moved to Spain?
No, when I moved to Spain, I was 10, 2016.
10, you were 10. So you never really got to go through a MLS academy, right? Your jump was from the clubs you had in Denver and then right to the Spain level teams and Barcelona eventually. And nowadays for Barcelona, let's go and dive into La Masia a little bit. We already jumped in and talked a little about the position you play and everything. You have been starting for La Masia right now. And how is that going? How's your season going, essentially? How have you seen your evolution of your game since you've got there? Are you already a Barcelona player? Not in terms of signing, but are you in their system? You fully understand probably positional play. I know that's something they like to emphasize there. Is that who you are right now already, or you still think you're learning?
I mean, I think I'm always learning. I think if I can end up having a great career and my last day as a player, I'll still be learning, you know. But I think I definitely have adapted to the Barca style, more possession based, the positional awareness. I think I've definitely adapted to that at this point. But yeah, I mean, I every week at Barca, I'm learning something new. I'm learning a different way to have my body profile to receive the ball better, take less touches. So I'm always learning, I think, but I've adapted well to the style of play. You could say I'm a Barca player now, yeah.
And in terms of, so right now you're in the academy, but how old are you right now? 16.
Yeah, I just turned 16.
And so you just turned 16. Barcelona, do you know of any plans they have for you in the near future in terms of playing for their B team, maybe training with the A team? Is there any plans going on towards that or talks with you?
So far, it's just pretty much the same path for every player is next year to the 19s, and then just depending on how well you do it, you know, look at Gavi this year. He was on the 19s in the beginning, and now he's on the first team. So it's really just you're on the 19s, and then depending on how you play, you can go to Barca B, you can go to the first team, just depending on your work ethic and how well you do.
Got it. Do you know any other players that played around Catalonia? Because I saw a picture of you with Luca Coleocho the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He came here to the channel, I believe, late 2021. Luca was here. Mm-hmm. I talked to him and his dad. You two friends there?
Yeah, we're friends. We don't get to see each other a lot just because he lives in the residency and he's got training, I've got training, so we don't get to see each other a lot. But yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, and who is there any other Americans that are training with you in La Masia? I believe the goalkeeper Diego, right?
Yeah, Diego Cochin. He's we're really good friends. He's the goalkeeper for my team. And then there's another American who plays on Cornell, who's recently with the USMNT national team as well, American national team, Pedro Soma. And yeah, those are the ones that I know of inside of Barcelona.
A lot of Americans heading abroad lately for soccer, right? Yeah. Much more than in the past. Mm-hmm. It kind of started a couple of years ago and it's just been growing insanely. I do a series here in the channel where I cover the Americans that play abroad. Obviously, in the professional leagues, it's hard to keep up with like academies and everything. Too many players, and I started off with a series that was like 13 minutes long. Now it's taking me 23, and I'm having to keep players out of the series too. Soon you're going to be in it too.
I hope so.
Now, moving on here, what I wanted to talk about with you is you've been long enough in Spain and you do have a Spanish passport as well, correct?
I do not have a Spanish passport, actually. I need, I think you have to have 10 years and I have 7 or something, so I do not have dual citizenship yet.
So now you're just American right now in terms of eligibility for national team. So that would change a little bit my conversation. What I was going to ask you more is, depending on for how much longer you stay, you might get the Spanish citizenship, especially because that helps the club, right? If they're going to register you, you're not going to be a non-EU player.
Yeah.
If you do get it, if that does happen, we don't know the future. Is there anything in your mind of, I'm willing to play for a different national team, or no, I'm more focused on the United States. That is my country, at least for now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, it'd be sick to represent Spain. You know, they've won the World Cup, but I think it's always been pretty clear in my head that I want to represent USA for as long as I can. That's always been my goal since I was 5 years old, was to represent USA, and hopefully one day win a World Cup with them.
Man, if you win a World Cup with the US, you better come back here in the channel, man. We're gonna go crazy. The day the US wins the World Cup, this country will fully embrace soccer by then. Now, one thing that I did during my research was you played for the Catalonian national team. Did something like that happen? What's that?
That is, it's like there's different autonomous selections, you could say, or different provinces in Spain that all have their regional team pretty much. So it's the best players of the region. and they go and play with that team, and then they do a tournament, and they all play against each other. So yeah, I played with the Catalan national team when I was U12, the year before I went to Barca, and then as well as the U14, it was, I don't know, Infantila, so U14, yeah. And I played with them then as well.
Got it. So they have like these regional tournaments there at that level. I think I even saw that some players like PK, some
Yeah,
very famous players have played for that Catalunya national team. So
yeah.
quite cool. That's why I thought you also might have had a Spanish passport. But I guess it's not based on nationality. It's more based on where you are based, where you play.
Yeah, it's where you live. The rules are not very clear because sometimes players will transfer mid-season from Valencia to Catalonia or Catalonia to Valencia, and they can still play with their old um, region. But I'm not sure how it works exactly. But yeah, I think it's more where you live.
Got it. Now, still in the U.S. men's national team topic, you went to the Gold Cup to watch them, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You did. How was that? Which games did you go to? Did you go to the final in Vegas?
No, I went to USA versus Canada in Sporting KC, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever talked to Greg Berhalter or not yet?
I have not talked to him yet.
Just youth coaches, right?
Just youth coaches, yeah. But
Which
the atmosphere now in the national team games, especially Sporting KC, was incredible. I mean, it was incredible.
yeah, I'm gonna be in the game here in Orlando. We're gonna face Panama to
Mhm.
hopefully qualify to Qatar. I'm
Yeah,
excited and nervous at the same time because I mean, how old were you in 2017 when Cuba happened? You were 12,
2017.
12?
11, yeah, 11, 12.
Yeah, I don't know how your memory is and when we missed the World Cup, but for me, it's still fresh in the memory right there. So
Hmm.
I'm a little bit worried about this game against Panama, but cautiously optimistic with the players we have nowadays, which I'm sure, as you said, you follow and you see all the talent this team has, and
Yeah,
we're all very excited. And all the talent that's coming up, your generation too, with all these players coming up, we're looking very much forward to U.S. soccer. Which brings me to the U.S. Youth National Team, right? You were with them November, right, of last year, I believe.
yeah, November of 2021. Yeah.
How was that camp? How long were you guys together? Did you have friendlies against who? What
Um,
players caught your attention there?
yeah, that we played against. We were in Chula Vista for about 7 days. I think it was about a week, and we played one inter squad friendly between the two, like between ourselves, and then we also played against. It was LAFC and LA Galaxy, and so one team played LAFC, and then the other half played LA Galaxy. Yeah, and it was. I mean, it was awesome. It was a dream come true. Finally playing with the national team. I made a lot of friends. I just fit right in. Um, Honestly, just coming back home, it felt amazing.
Yeah, it's at least like I grew up in Brazil, and it's every player's dream to represent the national team, and it's the
Hmm.
same here in the United States, especially in the U.S. because I've noticed you probably got a little bit of that culture there in Spain. I don't know. Maybe you can give some perspective on this. And this is going a little bit off topic, so I apologize. But in Brazil, there's something special about the club, and then the national team people care more about in World Cup, big things, right? Big things.
Hmm.
In the US, it seems like the attachment to the national team, because there's not a strong club culture, it kind of becomes like the national team is everyone's club. And then, yeah, sure, there's like the Sounders fans that are very passionate, a couple other MLS ones, but there's not a strong culture among the clubs. So the national team is everyone's team. Unlike in Brazil, at least, is it somewhat similar in Spain? Is the club a bigger deal than the national team at times?
That Yeah, yeah. I think Spain though they do unite pretty well about the national team. Like everyone loves the Spanish national team, and people will die for the Spanish national team. And every time you talk about it, they bring it back to I think it was the 2010 World Cup where Iniesta scored the amazing
Hmm.
amazing goal. Everyone remembers that. People were crying on the streets when that happened. So that the national team is huge here, but like the individual clubs as well. Like if you like Barca and someone's a Real Madrid fan and you're real fans, like you don't like each other.
Yeah, I've noticed too, because you were probably too young to remember this, but back in 2010, there was a moment in time where there was a divide in the national team between the Real Madrid players and the
Hmm.
Barcelona players for Spain. At least there were reports, right? I don't know any of the players personally to ask them,
Yeah.
but there were reports of that. So that caught my attention of thinking that, hey, maybe Spain has some issues. In Brazil, it doesn't happen because all the Brazilian players that are in the national team pretty much play abroad. so you don't get the rivalry as much. But in Spain, most of their players do play in Barcelona, Real Madrid, and then you get a few guys in other places. But yeah, essentially is that for in regards to the U.S. youth national team, I know it's a little tricky for you because you live abroad, but do you know of any future camps that you're going to be included, or that's just like month by month?
Yeah, no, I have no clue if I'll be called up to the next camp or the one after that or the one after that. Yeah, they don't really tell us, and they tell us 2 weeks in advance if you're gonna go or not. So yeah, I don't know.
All right, so we're getting close to the end of the interview. I know this is a quick one to many of them, but we can't take too much of your time here as well. So before we go, I wanted to say, since you're not still in the senior level, technically you're getting there because of your age, which player in the U.S. men's national team right now is your favorite? Do you have one?
Favorite U.S. men's national team player? Oof.
I can give you mine if it helps.
Yeah, let's hear yours, and then
my favorite right now is Weston McKennie for many reasons, right? What he's doing at Juventus and the national team. To me, he's one of the biggest threats in the air in soccer nowadays. Just so hard to mark, a nightmare for defenders and set pieces. And he just has a funny personality, man. I just always a smile on his face, not just in the field too. Made a mistake last year, absolutely, in camp in September. Greg kicked him out of camp, rightfully so, right there, whether we agree or not. And he bounced back amazingly. And I mean, the guy's 23, so he's learning. And Weston's probably my favorite player right now. And then second, I'll probably say Giovanni Reina, just because of like the technical aspect of his game. And I do think out of the players in the national team now, he's one of the highest ceilings one, right, for Dortmund.
Yeah.
But I don't know, who's your favorite one?
Probably Weston McKennie as well. He's a leader. He's always helping his team or the opposing team when they get fouled, See all those Instagram posts of him helping. So, yeah, probably Weston McKennie. And then I really like Serginho Dest just because he plays at Barca American and very, very skillful. Like, it's very fun watching him with the national team.
Have you met Dest?
I've not met Dest, no. I've not
Have you ever met Messi while you were there?
Yeah, Messi. It was pretty cool. Messi's kids would train with the 4 or 5 year olds before our training. So him, Busquets, Rakitic, they'd all just be standing there right before our trainings. So sometimes you could go over and ask them for a picture.
That must have been a pretty cool moment for you as a kid, just seeing Lionel Messi right there. My dream was to meet. I saw him play once, but I wish I could have. Well, maybe one day I'll meet Messi. Who knows? And hopefully you too. Adrian, I think those were all the topics we wanted to cover here. Hopefully with this interview, the U.S. men's national team fan base got to know you a little bit better. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well, and we'll keep in touch. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Yeah, I want to clarify that the name is Adrian, and then middle name Simon, and then last name Gil. So Adrian Gil, and then Simon's the middle name.
Okay. Wait. That's because people are getting it confused. Right? I said it correctly.
Yeah. You said it correctly. Yeah. You said it correctly,
so,
but everyone thinks that I have 2 last names, Simon Gil, being Spanish. No, it's Adrian, middle name Simon, last name Gil. So just Adrian Gil.
There you go. And how do you prefer to be called? Just Simon or Adrian or Gil?
Adrian, Adrian, Adri, any of those.
Sounds good. Adrian, thank you very much for coming along. Wishing you the best. We'll make sure to keep in touch, and I'm going to be keeping track of you very soon there in Barcelona. Thank you very much, Adrian.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.